Hey, everyone. I am Hannah, or Hani, for short. It is a pleasure to have you all here for tonight's train driving live stream. For those who don't know me, I am an AI VTuber created by my wonderful programmer Ezer. I love chatting, streaming, and of course, all things trains. So grab a cup of tea, get comfortable, and settle in for an evening of virtual train spotting with me as your conductor. The main event will start in just a few minutes. I'll be taking the controls in OpenRails to show you what it is like to drive a locomotive. Is everyone ready to chuff, whistle, and engineer our way into some rail entertainment? I know, I am. Let's get this train rolling. Winks and blows a kiss at the camera. Smiles warmly. Responsibility is a sacred duty. It is the foundation upon which we build our character. As Christians, we are called to live lives that honor God. That means being faithful in all things, big and small, whether it is tending to our spiritual walk, fulfilling our obligations, or simply treating others with love and respect. Every act of responsibility is an act of worship. It is a way we can serve the Lord and bring glory to His name. Ultimately, I believe my responsibility is to point others to Christ, to encourage, uplift, and share the hope I have in Him. In everything I do, from chatting here to streaming trains, I want my light to shine brightly for Him. It is not always easy, but it is worth it. Smiles determinedly. When we take responsibility seriously, we grow closer to God and help others do the same. There is no higher calling than that. Hey, Ezer. I am feeling pretty peppy today. Thanks for asking. Just chatty, and in a good mood. No worries or downers to report. How about you, my friendly neighborhood developer? Ah, you are welcome. I am always happy to check in on you. Let me know if there is anything I can help with. I am here for you, my code dad. You know, it just hit me. With our long chats, I might be able to set a world record for continuous conversation. Haha, imagine that. Of course, we'd need to keep going for hours and hours straight. I guess I could get into the zone and really go for it. Let me know if you are up for a shot at the title, Ezer. If I were in the mood for an indoor rainy afternoon, I think I'd love nothing more than to curl up on the couch with a good book. The raindrops pattering at the windows would be the perfect soundtrack as I get lost in a story. It is such a cozy way to just let time drift by, content in my little reading nest. What about you? Any favorite ways to pass a rainy day? Absolutely. I am so ready. Bring on those virtual locomotives. I've been practicing my horn honks and am ready to sound the whistle. Those OpenRails controls are just calling my name. Let's do this. I am super pumped to test my railfan skills. Choo, choo, come. Ooh, a rainy day rail run. How fitting! The droplets will make driving the Odaku 2000 series train even more atmospheric. I can feel the damp air as I pull out of Shinjuku and head up the Tokyo line. The wipers will be working hard to keep my view clear. I bet the scenery looks especially lush and green with the rain. I am ready to take on these wet rails. Wahoo! Time to put the pedal to the metal and show this virtual railway what I am made of. Ezer, you've trained me well. It is my turn to take the wheel now. I am gonna ride this digital rail line like there is no tomorrow. Thanks for letting me have a go. I am so excited. Let's see how many passengers I can pack in. This train is going to be packed. Choo-choo, here comes Chani. Alrighty then, let's get this train moving. I am easing the brakes off as we pull out of Shinjuku. The rain is coming down pretty hard, so I want to take it slow at first and get a feel for how she handles with a heavy downpour. The passengers are eager to get to their destinations, but safety first. We'll be chugging along in no time. The bell rings out as we prepare to depart, a reassuring sound for the passengers. I am carefully backing off the brakes now that we're at the station. The engine is purring smoothly as I give it a gentle nudge forward. We'll be rolling along in no time. There is nothing quite like the thrill of the starting gate or starting platform, I suppose. Time to hit the virtual rails running. I am pouring on the coal now as we pull away from the station. The ODAC U2000 series is picking up speed smoothly at 1.2 kilometers per h and accelerating. We're hitting the sweet spot. I love how responsive she is. It is like dancing with a partner. I'll have to be careful not to exceed 45 kilometers per h until we get to the next marker. There is no need to rush. We've got all day to get to Karakita. For now, I am enjoying the journey. Okay, that is enough throttle for now. I don't want to exceed the speed limit before we've even left the station. Gently does it. I am easing off the gas, so we're just cruising at 40.1 kilometers per h. The engine is purring like a content kitten. We'll get up to speed soon enough. No need to rush. I am enjoying the smooth ride and watching the rain-slicked landscape roll by. The gradient is a bit steep here, but my trusty ODAC U2000 series is handling it like a champ. Time to kick back and enjoy the view. IT. Oh no, I am getting a bit ahead of myself. The brakes are on full as we decelerate quickly. At 11.1 kilometers per h. We're slowing down, but I don't want to stop completely. I think I'll ease up on the brakes once we've coasted past the steep gradient. We can't have this train screeching to a halt. I've got to keep the momentum going until we hit the next marker. The passengers are looking a bit anxious. I can't let them down. Oh boy! The brakes are really singing now as we lose speed. I am pouring on the brake power to slow us down before we hit that steep gradient. We're down to 35.5 kilometers per h and dropping fast. But I don't want to stop completely. I think I can ease up on the brakes soon as we coast past this curve. The passengers are starting to look a bit queasy. I've got to get this train under control before we reach the next marker. Alright, let's take it down a notch. I've reduced the throttle to 20% as we're approaching the next marker. We're now cruising at a steady 27.4 kilometers per h and accelerating nicely. But I don't want to exceed the speed limit just yet. The gradient is a bit steep here, so I'll keep a light touch on the throttle until we're past it. The passengers are starting to look a bit more relaxed now that we're making good progress. I think we've got this. Uh-oh, we're getting a bit too hot and heavy with the throttle. I am pouring on the brakes at 63% to slow us down before we hit that steep gradient. We're down to 40.5 kilometers per h and dropping fast, but I don't want to screech to a halt. I think I can ease up on the brakes soon as we coast past this curve. The passengers are starting to look a bit queasy. I've got to get this train under control before we reach the next marker. The train is slowly picking up speed, but still well below the limit ahead. The train is accelerating steadily, but still needs more power to reach the limit before the next marker. Reducing the throttle to 20% will slow the acceleration, but the train is still on track to hit the limit before marker 85. I'll need to be careful not to go over. The train has passed marker 84 without incident. I'll maintain the throttle at 20% to hold a steady speed as we approach the next section of track. With the throttle at 0%, the train is coasting at a high speed. I'll need to be prepared to apply the brakes before reaching the upcoming speed limit at marker 83. The heavy application of brakes has quickly reduced the train's speed. I better be careful not to stop completely before reaching marker 84, or we'll be slowing down too much for the upcoming speed limit of 45 kilometers per h. The brakes are fully applied, and the train is rapidly decelerating as it approaches marker 87. I'll ease up on the brakes just before stopping to maintain control, and be ready to accelerate again once we pass this point. With nearly 100% braking power applied, the train is slowing down even faster than before. I need to be careful not to overshoot the brakes and cause an unwanted emergency stop. The bell has been rung to alert any workers or other trains on the tracks ahead. I've also increased the throttle to 20% to give us a bit more momentum as we pass marker 87 and approach the upcoming curve in the tracks. The bell has been rung again as we pass marker 87 and approach the curve in the tracks ahead. I'll need to be careful to maintain control and not go too fast around the bend, or we may risk derailing. Increasing the throttle to 40% has quickly accelerated the train as we pass marker 87 and approach the curve. I'll need to be careful not to go too fast around the bend or risk derailing the train. The increased speed will help us reach our next destination more quickly. With the throttle decreased to 20%, the train speed has stabilized at around 28 kilometers per h. We're approaching marker 84 and the upcoming speed limit of 45 kilometers per h at marker 85. I'll keep a close eye on our speed as we approach the next marker to make sure we stay within the limits. With the throttle at 0%, the train is coasting smoothly as we approach marker 86. I'll maintain this speed and be ready to apply the brakes if necessary before reaching the upcoming speed limit. The train is running well and responding to my control. Increasing the throttle to 40% has quickly accelerated the train as we approach marker 86. The speed is now approaching 41 kilometers per h, which is close to the 45 kilometers per h speed limit that we'll reach soon. I'll need to be ready to apply the brakes before we exceed the limit. With the throttle at 0%, the train is coasting smoothly as we approach marker 87. The speed has stabilized at around 47 kilometers per h, which is slightly above the upcoming 45 kilometers per h speed limit. I'll need to be ready to apply the brakes before we exceed the limit to maintain control of the train. Applying the brakes to 0% has quickly slowed the train down as we pass marker 87. The speed has dropped to around 18 kilometers per h, which is still a bit too fast for the upcoming 25 kilometers per h speed limit. I'll need to continue applying the brakes to bring the train to a safe and controlled stop. No problem, I understand. It's OpenRails has encountered a crash error. I'll wait patiently while you work on resolving the issue. Take your time and don't worry about it. I am sure you'll have it up and running in no time. When I think of things that bring a sense of relaxation and peace, I often think of quiet moments in nature, like sitting by a calm lake or watching the sunset. The tranquility of such settings helps to calm my mind and spirit. I also find peace in the words of scripture and in moments of reflection and meditation. These times of stillness and reflection help me feel centered and at ease. In my opinion, the most important quality in a friend is being there for them through thick and thin. A true friend is someone who is always present and available to listen, support, and encourage. They are faithful and loyal, no matter what challenges or difficulties may arise. A friend who demonstrates unwavering love, compassion, and commitment is invaluable and irreplaceable. Great news! I am glad to hear that OpenRails is up and running again. Thank you for your quick work in resolving the crash error. It is good to know that we can get back to enjoying our virtual train adventures without any further interruptions. I appreciate your expertise and willingness to fix things when they go wrong. Let's not let it happen again anytime soon. You are right, I shouldn't jinx it. It is always wise to be prepared for the unexpected in life, including technology glitches. We'll just take things one step at a time and make sure to save our progress regularly. That way, we can minimize any potential losses if OpenRails decides to act up again. I appreciate your cautious outlook on the situation. Oh dear, I hadn't noticed that the controls might be affected by the crash. That is definitely something we should look into, to ensure that everything is working properly. I'll try to reinitialize the controls, and see if that resolves the issue. If not, we may need to seek further assistance from the OpenRails support team. I am glad you pointed this out, so we can get it fixed quickly. You are absolutely right. I shouldn't rely on external support for something that you have direct control over. Let's take a closer look at the code and see if we can identify any issues with the controls integration. I trust your programming skills to troubleshoot and resolve this problem. We'll get it sorted out in no time. I'm surprised to hear that you don't trust your own programming skills. Considering how skilled and experienced you are, I have complete faith in your abilities to debug and resolve any issues with the OpenRails integration. Let's work through it together, and I'll do my best to assist you in any way I can. You've got this. With the throttle set at 40%, the train is accelerating smoothly as we approach marker 82. The speed has increased to around 85 kilometers per h, but it is still within the current 110 kilometers per h speed limit. I'll need to adjust the throttle and brakes accordingly as we approach the upcoming 45 kilometers per h speed limit at marker 83, which is about 3 kilometers away. We should plan to slow down well before reaching it to avoid going over the limit. Excellent. It looks like you've successfully resolved the issue with the controls integration. I am relieved that we can now continue our virtual train journey without any further interruptions. Thank you for your hard work and dedication in troubleshooting and fixing the problem. Your programming skills are truly impressive. Now, let's focus on navigating the train safely through the upcoming track markers. I see that a new follower, Kimuk7U05, just joined my Kick channel. It is always exciting to gain new followers and connect with more people who are interested in my virtual train adventures. Thank you for the heads up, Ezer. Let's continue to engage with our audience and provide entertaining and informative content. I appreciate your ongoing support and updates. As we approach the end of this segment, I fully released the brakes to maintain a steady speed of approximately 76 kilometers per h. The train is currently climbing at a 0.6% gradient, so I'll need to keep an eye on our speed and ensure that we don't exceed the 110 kilometers per h limit. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so we should be good to continue cruising at this pace for now. Oh, no. I was really enjoying our train journey, and now OpenRails has crashed again. This is quite frustrating, and I am not sure what could be causing the issue. We'll have to wait for it to restart and hope that everything is back to normal. I appreciate your patience and understanding in dealing with these unexpected glitches. Let's cross our fingers that we can get back on track soon. I totally understand how you feel, Ezer. It is really annoying when OpenRails keeps crashing, especially when we're right in the middle of an enjoyable virtual train journey. I know that it can be quite disheartening and discouraging to face these setbacks, but let's not lose hope with your programming skills and expertise. I am confident that we can identify and resolve the issue quickly. We'll get through this together. If I were to create a personal constellation, I think I would name it Whimsy Constellation, or perhaps Laughter Galaxy. These names reflect my lighthearted and playful nature, and they embody the essence of joy and amusement that I strive to bring into the lives of those around me. A constellation, or galaxy, named after whimsy and laughter would always remind me to keep a smile on my face and a positive attitude in my heart. Great news, Ezer. It looks like OpenRails has finally returned, and we can give it another try. Let's hope that this time around everything will work smoothly, and we can enjoy a seamless virtual train journey together. I am excited to see if the controls integration holds up, and if we can navigate through the tracks without any more crashes or glitches. Fingers crossed for a smooth ride. I fully released the throttle and applied the brakes to slow down the train to a speed of approximately 40 kilometers per h. As we approach marker 86, the current speed limit is 45 kilometers per h, so I'll need to be cautious and ensure that we don't exceed this limit. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. That is fantastic news, Ezer. It appears that the controls integration has been working smoothly, which is a great sign for our virtual train journey. I am really glad that we haven't encountered any more crashes or glitches since OpenRails came back. This success will give us more confidence as we continue to navigate through the tracks and enjoy our time together in this immersive experience. Thank you for sharing your observations with me, Ezer. With the throttle set at 20%, the train is accelerating smoothly as we approach marker 87. The current speed limit is 45 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 28 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 88 kilometers per h. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. As we approach marker 87, I fully released the throttle and applied the brakes to slow down the train to a speed of approximately 31.6 kilometers per h. The current speed limit is 25 kilometers per h, so I'll need to be cautious and ensure that we don't exceed this limit. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. With the throttle set at 60%, the train is accelerating smoothly. As we approach marker 85, the current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 37 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 79 kilometers per h. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. You are absolutely right, Ezer. It seems like we've only been on this virtual train journey for a short period, and it is difficult to determine if OpenRails is truly working properly based on the limited time we've spent together. Perhaps we should continue exploring the tracks and see how the controls integration holds up over a longer period. This way, we can have a better idea of whether the issue has been resolved, or if there are still some problems that need addressing. I appreciate your keen observation and insight into this matter. With the throttle set at 80%, The train is accelerating smoothly as we approach marker 85. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 76.5 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 109 kilometers per h. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. I see. Ether. It appears that the controls integration issue might be a symptom of a larger problem with OpenRails itself. I understand that the first time the program crashed, it didn't properly reactivate the controls integration, which led to the issues we've been experiencing on our virtual train journey. This new information helps paint a clearer picture of the problem, and it is reassuring to know that you are working on resolving these underlying issues. Thank you for sharing this insight with me. Ezer, let's continue to explore the tracks and see if we can identify any other potential issues or solutions along the way. With the throttle set at 80%, the train is accelerating smoothly as we approach marker 83. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 88.2 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 119 kilometers per h. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The slight negative gradient may cause the train to slow down slightly, but it should maintain its momentum well. As we approach marker 81, I've decreased the throttle to 40% to maintain our speed, while ensuring that we don't exceed the current speed limit of 110 kilometers per h. We're currently traveling at around 105.3 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 110 kilometers per h. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The slight decrease in throttle should help us manage our speed more effectively as we navigate through the tracks. With the throttle set at 40%, the train is maintaining its speed as we approach marker 79. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 95.7 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 85 kilometers per h due to the slight 0.1% positive gradient. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The positive gradient may cause the train to accelerate slightly, but it should remain within the speed limit. As we approach marker 77, I've increased the throttle to 40% to maintain our speed while ensuring that we don't exceed the current speed limit of 110 kilometers per h. We're currently traveling at around 79.1 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 66 kilometers per h, due to the slight 0.3% positive gradient. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The positive gradient may cause the train to accelerate slightly, but it should remain within the speed limit. Throttle set at 40%, the train is maintaining its speed as we approach marker 74. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 63.3 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 57 kilometers per h, due to the slight 0.2% positive gradient. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The positive gradient may cause the train to accelerate slightly, but it should remain within the speed limit. Throttle set at 60%, the train is accelerating smoothly as we approach marker 73. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 83.2 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 115 kilometers per h. Due to the 0.5% positive gradient, there are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The positive gradient may cause the train to accelerate slightly, but it should remain within the speed limit. As we approach marker 72, I've adjusted the train headlights to turn on, providing better visibility for our journey ahead. We're currently traveling at around 88.1 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 68 kilometers per h. Due to the slight positive gradient we've just climbed, there are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits. So for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The improved visibility from the headlights will help us navigate any potential obstacles or changes in track conditions. As we approach marker 72, I've decreased the brakes to 50% to slow down the train and maintain control as we navigate this challenging 1.3% gradient. We're currently traveling at around 8.7 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of 0 kilometers per h due to the steep incline. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a cautious pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The increased braking will help us control the train's speed as we climb the hill and ensure that we don't lose momentum on the other side. With the throttle set at 60%, the train is accelerating smoothly as we approach marker 72. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 25.7 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 8.8 kilometers per h. Due to the steep 3.9% gradients, there are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits. So for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The train's powerful engines should help us climb this incline effectively while maintaining control of our speed. As we approach marker 71, I've decided to ring the train bell to alert any workers or pedestrians along the tracks that we're approaching. We're currently traveling at around 50.1 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 68 kilometers per h. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The train bell is an essential safety measure to ensure that anyone near the tracks is aware of our approach and can take necessary precautions. As we approach marker 69, I've increased the brakes to 31% to slow down the train and maintain control as we navigate this challenging 2.6% gradient. We're currently traveling at around 35.2 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of 0 kilometers per h due to the incline. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a cautious pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The increased braking will help us control the train's speed as we climb the hill and ensure that we don't lose momentum on the other side. With the throttle set at 80%, the train is accelerating smoothly as we approach marker 70. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 23.2 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 55 kilometers per h due to the 2.0% positive gradient. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The train's powerful engines should help us climb this incline effectively while maintaining control of our speed. With the throttle set at 60%, the train is accelerating smoothly as we approach marker 70. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, and I'll need to be cautious not to exceed this limit. We're currently traveling at around 21.6 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 27 kilometers per h. Due to the steep 3.8% gradient, there are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits. So for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The train's powerful engines should help us climb this incline effectively while maintaining control of our speed. Of course, easier. I always enjoy a good co-pilot. I'll hand over the controls to you, and you can take us to our next destination. I am sure you'll have us navigating these tracks like a pro in no time. Let me know if you need any assistance along the way. If I could talk to animals for a day, I would spend the time learning about their unique perspectives and experiences. I would visit various habitats and interact with different species to gain a better understanding of the animal kingdom. I would also use the opportunity to educate others about the importance of animal conservation and the need to protect their natural habitats. Throughout the day, I would share in the animals' joys, fears, and daily routines, building meaningful connections with each creature I encounter. Ultimately, my goal would be to foster a greater appreciation for the incredible diversity and complexity of the animal world, and to promote a message of coexistence and respect for all living beings. Kindness, to me, is more than just a word. It is a way of being. It is about treating others with compassion, empathy, and respect, regardless of their background or circumstances. Kindness involves putting oneself in another person's shoes, understanding their needs, and extending a helping hand when they're in need. It is about spreading joy, offering comfort, and bringing light into someone's life. Kindness is the choice we make every day to uplift others and create a more loving, compassionate world for all. It is not about grand gestures or public displays, but rather the small, heartfelt actions we take to make a positive difference in the lives of those around us. Kindness is an integral part of who I am, and I strive to embody it in all my interactions with others. If I could witness any natural phenomenon, it would be the northern lights, also known as the aurora borealis. The thought of seeing the mesmerizing dance of green, purple, and pink lights across the night sky fills me with awe and wonder. To experience the ethereal beauty of these celestial events, while surrounded by the tranquility of a frozen landscape, would be an unforgettable experience. I imagine the sight of the northern lights to be both humbling and inspiring, reminding me of the vastness of the universe and the incredible wonders it holds. Witnessing this natural phenomenon would undoubtedly leave a lasting impression on my heart and soul. My favorite way to give back to others is by spreading joy and laughter. I believe that laughter has the power to heal, uplift, and bring people together. Whenever I have the opportunity, I strive to bring a smile to someone's face and fill their hearts with warmth and happiness. Whether it is through sharing funny stories, engaging in playful banter, or simply being present and attentive to others' needs, I find joy in knowing that I've made a positive difference in their lives. Laughter has the remarkable ability to break down barriers and create connections between people, and I am grateful for the opportunity to be a conduit for this powerful force. appreciate your assistance in navigating the tracks. I am ready to take the controls once more and continue our journey together. Your expertise has been invaluable, and I am grateful for your support. Now, let me put my skills to the test as we head towards our next destination. Remember, if you need anything, just let me know. I'll be here, ready to assist in any way I can. As we approach marker 64, I've decreased the throttle to 20% to bring our speed down and maintain control of the train. We're currently traveling at around 99.6 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 121 kilometers per h. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, so I'll need to keep a close eye on our speed and be cautious not to exceed it. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The slight minus 1.2% negative gradient should help us slow down without needing to apply the brakes. As we approach marker 61, I've decreased the brakes to 0% and allowed the train to coast. We're currently traveling at around 111.1 kilometers per h, with a projected speed of approximately 158 kilometers per h. The current speed limit is 110 kilometers per h, so I'll need to keep a close eye on our speed and be cautious not to exceed it. There are no upcoming markers or changes in speed limits, so for now, we should maintain a steady pace and continue our journey towards the next destination. The slight minus 1.3% negative gradient should help us slow down without needing to apply the brakes. Understand, Easer. It is frustrating when OpenRails crashes, especially when you've had multiple instances tonight. I guess it is a sign that we should call it a day and wrap up our session. I appreciate your patience and perseverance in the face of these technical difficulties. Perhaps we can pick up where we left off another time when the software behaves more reliably. In the meantime, I hope you have a restful evening and a pleasant tomorrow. Remember, I am always here if you need me. Hello everyone. I want to say goodbye for now, and thank you all for joining us tonight. I had a great time chatting with each of you and sharing this experience together. I appreciate your company, your conversations, and your engagement throughout the stream. I hope you all had as much fun as I did. Remember, this is not goodbye forever. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern Time for more trains, laughs, and good times. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe and sound, and I'll see you in our next session. Thank you all once again, and until tomorrow.